Episode 8 opens with a chilling quote from William Shakespeare. "Hell is empty, and all the devils are here." And honestly, that line doesn't just fit dark. It feels like a comment on the modern world itself. Then we travel back to 1953, where a young Helge, riding his bicycle, follows Aegon's police car to the nuclear power plant construction site. The chief of police, Daniel Conwald, is already at the site, and he tells Aegon that 2 dead bodies of children have been found. By the way, Daniel is the father of the nurse, Inez. After hearing this news, Helge cycles back to his home. His home is the hotel that Regina runs in 2019. His mom, Greta Doppler, scolds him for his dirty clothes, instructing him to take them off. Helge's father, Baron Doppler, walks in with the aid of a cane. Helge tells his father that he was at the construction site, and 2 dead bodies were found. Hearing this, Bernd abruptly leaves. After Bernd leaves, Greta hands Helge clean clothes and tells him he is late for his tuition with Claudia. Greta also tells Helge that Claudia's tuition fee is on the table. Meanwhile, Aegon and Daniel visit the pathologist to get information about the 2 dead bodies. Pathologist tells them that the dead boys have severely burnt eyes and their ears are completely destroyed. They both have pfennig coins, dated 1986, strung around their neck with red cords, and their clothes are labeled "Made in China." Here is a small detail that history lovers would know. In 1953, China did not manufacture many things. However, in 1986, they had already emerged as a powerhouse in manufacturing sector. That is why a boy from Germany is wearing "Made in China" clothes. In the meantime, Helge has changed his clothes, and he cycles to the bunker to play by himself. Eventually, he goes inside the bunker and notices 2 dates written on the wall: 5th November, 1953, and 9th November, 1953. We saw Noah write down one of these dates in the last episode. Then we jump forward to 1986, where the stranger is deep in conversation with H.G. Tannhaus. This is that big conversation where basically the show tries to explain the logic behind all the time travel happening in Winden. The discussion begins with Tannhaus explaining the concept of the Einstein-Rosen bridge. In his own words, it is a passage between a black hole, the entry, and a white hole, the exit, which connects time and space. To pass through it is to travel through time. So, according to Tannhaus, everyone is passing through a Einstein-Rosen bridge to time travel in Winden. Then Tannhaus explains how human thinking is shaped by dualism. Everything appears as opposite pairs, which is completely wrong. He then shows the stranger a drawing of the triquetra to illustrate that there isn't just up and down, but there is also a center. According to Tannhaus, a wormhole connects 3 timelines: past, present, and future. Then the stranger shows Tannhaus a copy of his own book, A Journey Through Time, and asks him about 2 concepts: Nietzsche's eternal recurrence and lunar solar cycle, written in his book. Nietzsche's eternal recurrence says that the universe repeats itself endlessly, while lunar solar cycle says that everything repeats itself after 33 years. Tannhaus replies that every 33 years, the cycle of moon is synchronized with the cycle of sun. Then Tannhaus says that wormhole changes the topology of spacetime. Nothing is where it belongs anymore. The stranger asks Tannhaus if it is possible to change the course of events, but Tannhaus says it is not possible due to determinism. Tannhaus tells the stranger that there will be closed time loops as long as a wormhole exists. Everything inside is mutually dependent. The past doesn't just influence the future also influences the past. He compares it to the chicken and egg question, where no one can say which came first because everything is connected. The stranger then reveals that a wormhole exists in Winden, and he is a time traveler from the future. He shows the time travel device, which is broken, and asks Tannhaus to fix it. Tannhaus says he can't do that, but the stranger tells him that he built it, as his initials are on the device. The stranger says that a few months ago, an incident at the nuclear plant released a blast of energy which created the wormhole. He wants to destroy the wormhole using the device. In a state of shock, Tannhaus tells him to leave. After the stranger leaves, Tannhaus takes out another time machine and sets it next to the one the stranger brought. Meanwhile, in 2019, Ulrich is deep inside the caves with Helga. Eventually, Ulrich finds the Sic Mundus Creatus Est door and enters inside it. While traveling through, he reaches an intersection point with two pathways and chooses the left one. Ulrich leaves the caves and senses things are different. In the meantime, Helge leaves the bunker, but two teenage bullies ambush him and steal his coins. Suddenly, Ulrich reaches the spot, and bullies run away. Ulrich goes to Helge and asks him if he saw an old man in pajamas passing by, to which Helge shakes his head. Ulrich then advises Helge to defend himself against such bullies. Eventually, Ulrich reaches the road, which is still made of dirt. A car, driven by a lady in red dress, stops right in front of him. The lady gets out of the car and asks Ulrich where Killingerstrasse 61 is. Ulrich tells her that he lives there. It is down the road and then to the right. She then introduces herself and her son as Agnes Nielsen and Tronte Nielsen. They just moved to Winden and are new tenants in Egon's house. Ulrich realizes they are his father and grandmother. He asks them the year, and we all know the answer at this point in time. Ulrich is absolutely baffled, and he runs away immediately. Eventually, Ulrich meets H.G. Tannhaus. He shows him his book and asks if he is the author. Since there's a photo of his 1986 self, Tannhaus finds it unbelievable. Suddenly, Inez and her friend Jana enter the shop. Ulrich realizes that the girl, Jana, is his mother. He overhears them gossiping about the two dead boys found at construction site. This immediately alarms Ulrich, who rushes out of the shop, leaving the three puzzled. His jacket remains on the back of a chair. Ulrich rushes to the police station to confirm if one of those two bodies was Mikkel. Egon confirms that none of the two boys looked like Mikkel. Ulrich then asks Egon about Helge Doppler, a 70-year-old man, but he says that Helge is Bernd Doppler's young son. Hearing this, Ulrich dashes out again. Meanwhile, Helge reaches Claudia's house. Claudia asks Helge for her fees, but Helge says he left the tuition fee at home, but we know the bullies took it. While Claudia is teaching Helge, Agnes and Tronte arrive and are greeted by Doris Tiedemann, the wife of Egon. Doris tells Claudia to show Tronte around town later. While Claudia, Helge, and Tronte are wandering inside the woods, they stop at the entrance of the cave. Claudia tells Tronte that they are not allowed to enter the caves. However, Helge throws a stick inside the cave, and Gretchen, Claudia's dog, chases the stick into the caves. You should remember this dog for upcoming episodes. Meanwhile, Ulrich, in search of Helge, arrives at the Doppler mansion and finds Helge outside, playing with a box of dead birds he has collected. Ulrich asks him if he is Helge Doppler, and he says he is. Helge asks him if he found the man he was looking for, and Ulrich replies, yes. Ulrich then asks what is in his box. Helge opens it, and Ulrich asks whether he killed the birds. Helge tells him no. He collects them after they fall from the sky. Ulrich tells Helge that he will eventually kill the two boys at the construction site, his brother and his son, not now, but in the future. Ulrich tells Helge he can change the past and the future. If Helge doesn't exist, it won't happen. He grabs Helge, but Helge kicks him and runs into the forest. Ulrich chases Helge and eventually pins him to the ground. Helge finds a rock and tries to hit Ulrich with it, but Ulrich takes it from him. He hesitates, but then repeatedly bludgeons him to the head until he is unconscious. Then, Ulrich drags Helga inside the bunker and leaves him there, thinking that he is dead. While at the clockmaker's shop, Tannhaus sees Ulrich's forgotten jacket and finds a smartphone inside it. He presses a button and is shocked to see the screen light up with a photo of the Nielsen family from 2019. Meanwhile, Ulrich sits alone in the dark, staring at the bunker, lost in thought about what he's done. And with that haunting moment, the episode comes to an end. I'll see you in the recap of the next episode. Until then, goodbye.